Hello and welcome to the show that keeps you informed on what's happening across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, the 36 states of the Federation, news across Nigeria. On today's edition, the Imo State chapter of the Nigeria Labour Congress protests against the state government. Kwara State to increase internally generated revenue. And in Delta and Oyo State, the clashes between farmers and herdsmen a growing source of concern. We begin in the southeast 2 days after taking part in a nationwide protest against the recent hike in electricity tariff. Members of the Nigeria Labour Congress have converged in Owerri, the Imo State capital, this time to protest against some of the recent actions of the state government. The NLC, led by its national president, Ayuba Waba, are protesting against the concessioning of some state-owned parastatals and the suspension of workers in 19 parastatals. Tagged Operation Occupy Imo, the protest has shut down activities at the Samimbako Airport, as well as some other government offices. The chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Chief John Oyegun, was seen at the government house, although it's unclear if his visit has anything to do with the labor crisis in the state. In the meantime, representatives of the NLC and the state government have met to find a solution to the crisis. And also with labor matters, the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress in Osun State has appealed to the state government to rescind its decision on the over 200 sacked teaching and non-teaching staff of the 4 state-owned tertiary institutions. The NLC chairman, Jacob Adekomi, who led the affected workers to the State House of Assembly, urged lawmakers to mediate between the executive and the workers to ensure justice in their reinstatement. The Speaker of the House, Najim Salam, assured them that the House will ensure that workers without questionable records will not suffer any form of injustice.
Our purpose of coming here is to appeal to you that as indigents of Osun and as stakeholders in the state of Osun, we appeal to you that the development of Osun belongs to every one of us. Please kindly see this to us. Let the House review their cases so that our people will go back to their work. Their fathers, their mothers, our families, their families have been suffering since the advent of this episode. And in order for them not to lose their families, in order for them not to lose their life, because some of them have been hospitalized, we appeal to the House to kindly review their cases and let the letters that were given to them by the School Management and Authority be withdrawn.
Let me tell you, it is not everybody that are involved in this process of sack that does not commit one offense or the other. We want to stand by justice, and not because you are here, we are not saying that we are giving you clean bill that everybody that's involved will go free out of this. We want to study the files and see justification for sacking. We want to believe there must be justification for what the management did. If there's none on the file, we then write our report and recommend appropriately to the governor of the state.
Now to the North Central region, the Kwara State Governor, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, has given the State Internal Revenue Service the mandate to raise the state's IGR to 5 billion naira monthly from the 800 million naira it currently generates. The governor said this when he commissioned the newly completed Internal Revenue Service Office complex.
2 months ago, the Kwara State Governor, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, paid an assessment visit to the then ongoing construction of the edifice. With the completion of the office complex, called the Revenue House, the governor went down memory lane on why the new Revenue Generation Agency was set up.
We sponsored a bill to abrogate the Board of Internal Revenue, BIR, and create the Kwara State Internal Revenue Service, KWIRS. Following the passage of that bill, I signed it into law, establishing the Kwara State Internal Revenue Service, with a mandate to mobilize revenue, block leakages, and expand Kwara State revenue base with a monthly target of 5 billion naira.
He notes that the government is not collecting new taxes, but is improving on its mode of collection. The chairman of the Kwara Internal Revenue Service, Murtala Awodun, insists that targets will be met with the blocking of loopholes in the collection system.
This target is not built on any form of increase in taxes, but more on the blocking of leakages, as we observe, and rightly too, that as stakeholders, you have always been up and doing in your civic responsibility.
In the name of Allah, the beneficiaries from massive.
The governor also commissioned the revenue court, purposely built for tax offenders, and warned that any tax offender in the state will not be spared.
Tax payment is a civic responsibility that all liable individuals and organizations are obliged to fulfill in the interest of common good. While a significant number of individuals and organizations pay taxes voluntarily, others evade or otherwise refuse to comply with tax law. Revenue courts are therefore required to enforce compliance with laws relating to tax administration in the states.
With this incentive, whether the target of the 5 billion naira monthly revenue generation set by the governor will be met remains to be seen, against the backdrop of dwindling federal allocation and the need to meet the demands of the state.
The Cross River State Governor, Ben Ayade, has taken a cut in his own salary. It will tell you why when News Across Nigeria returns.